How y'all are? It's your buddy George Jones over here at the Bergen Gun Range. I've been wanting to try and make some videos with some meaning beyond just my advocation of the ownership and use of the honor defense. And I used to be an avid military rifle collector. I'm down to about, I don't know, 2 or 3 now. I just do World War II USGI is all I do. There's other people that can have every service rifle in World War II worldwide in their collection. I just don't have the logistics for it anymore. With that in mind, I'd like to be able to start doing something a little bit more interesting. I like the segment on the NRA TV show and the NRA magazine called I Have This Old Gun. I think it's fairly informative. The article is better than the TV because the TV is only like 7 minutes. The article can be reread and reread again. So my first installment on I Got This Old Used Gun is this. The Remington 30S Express rifle. These were manufactured in the factory during the Depression from what was original Remington P-17 Enfield rifles. So this is basically a sporterized military rifle, but the exception is that it was sporterized at the factory, taken off the rack as a military rifle and redone as a sporting rifle for commercial sale. High-end sporting rifles just didn't sell well during the Depression, so they needed something that they could sell for in the $20 price range. Now we're talking about the $20 price range in the 1930s, which would be the same as the $700 price range today. It retains the old dogleg bolt that hung around with Remington for years. The Model 600 Remington had a dogleg bolt in it, even though they were a complete commercial rifle. But several Remington rifles that were complete commercial rifles after this series of guns came on the market retained the dogleg bolt. What Remington basically did was they took the rifle and they put it in a cut checkered stock. They milled off the big hump for the side assembly, which was on the back of the gun in those days as a military rifle. Put a checkered and milled sight plane on it, machined off all of the original military markings and acceptance marks, machined the barrel down to where it was smooth, re-rolled the Remington Company information on the barrel, and re-rolled the caliper on the barrel, caliper on the barrel up here, installed the Remington logo here, and then installed the new designation Model 30S Express, Remington Express model here. They also put a better trigger in it. They installed a recoil plate on it, or a butt plate on it, which was checkered cast aluminum with the Remington logo on it. They put on a hooded fixed blade front sight. Now the hood on this one is gone, but I'm hunting around trying to find me another one. And then they did something really cool. They installed Lyman or Williams micrometer adjust target peep sight on it. This is a really cool sight for elevation and windage. It's got click knobs on it. This thing is changeable. You can actually change this rear aperture disc. It's a very elegantly made version of a previous military rifle. They could have done something a little bit better with the floor plate arrangement. It's original P-17 Enfield, but they did cut it down a little bit here and make it a little bit thinner and a little bit more elegant. They did some work on the trigger and improved it, but basically they started out with a P-14 Enfield. Savage, Winchester, and Remington manufactured the P-14 Enfields in the United States and took them overseas during World War I. There were several 100,000 rifles still to fulfill the contract at the end of World War I, and the U.S. military War Department at that time canceled the contract, and everybody was stuck with the rifles they had on warehouse and sitting at the docks. Savage took their rifles and reworked them as a military configuration rifle and sold them in South America. That's how they got out from under. Remington reworked theirs as the 30S Express. Winchester reworked theirs as the 30M and basically did the same thing to the rifle as Remington did to it. So we're going to try this rifle out right here, or I am. One of the cool things about this gun is it makes it handy for getting it reloaded. It retains the original stripper clip guide. So a 1903 Springfield stripper clip of ammunition will fit in there. Whoop. And you can load her up just like that. I've got a 14-inch and a 10-inch, 1-inch thick steel plate at 155 yards. You should be able to hear it if I can hit it. Well, let's see if I can get it from here. Ooh, that was a hit. And this rifle is smooth. Bam. Whacker right there, buddy. Three out of 5. Let's try for the 10-inch, see how it works. That's 6. Let's try the 10-inch again, see how that one works. Five out of 5, 155 yards. That's a pretty good shooting rifle right there. So that's it. Remington 30S Express. Pretty good rifle. You see one laying around someplace, or you got one out laying around in the back of your closet somewhere that the old man bought way back in the day, and you're going out to buy a new deer rifle, maybe you ought to think about that old rifle you got in the closet. Of course, you can always come see us over at Brag About It Guns and Ammo. We'll trade you into about anything. We'll trade on anything. We don't have to feed while we're waiting on it to sell it. Remington 30S Express. Pretty good old rifle. It's 2017. This here rifle is right at 100 years old. Not bad. So that's about it for the first installment. I got this old used gun. Hope y'all enjoying it. We'll see you now. Push this old button, turn it off. Get it turned off. How does it get turned off? Like that? How about like